The Philadelphia Soul put up 51 second-half points, led by consistent play from Dan Radabaugh and solid defensive play from Teddy Jennings as they cruise to an 84-48 victory over the Iowa Barnstormers in Iowa Saturday night. Tonight, I'll talk to the defensive star of the game, Teddy Jennings, as well as Coach Phil Bogle. And we'll meet a player and coach playing in next Monday's Wounded Warrior amputee versus NFL alumni charity game. Plus, Jaws will be back to talk some more football. I'm Rhea Hughes. The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is next.
Fifth touchdown of the night for Jared Ross on the strike, and it's a touchdown to Tiger Jones as the safety, and the Soul defense has it going right.
Soul decided to make it a little bit easier on everybody's psyche and not let this come down to the last play of the game. Check out the highlights.
It was military night, and former Soul coach Mike Hohensee decided to lob long-range missiles at the Soul with great success.
Long for the end zone, turned around as Kaiser, and it's caught in the end zone.
Barnstormer quarterback J.J. Rattering connected on 4 TD bombs of over 30 yards and matched his normal game totals in the first half. Soul coach Clint Dozell, however, stuck to a game plan of medium strikes. His quarterback Dan Radabaugh's offense matched Iowa touchdown for touchdown in a first half that was all about the offense. A missed extra point was the only difference between the teams, as each scored on every possession and Iowa led 34-33 at the half. The Soul got the ball to begin the second half, and Radabaugh completed 5 of 6 to march the Soul 46 yards to take their first lead. Then it changed. Number 98 on defense, Soul defensive end Teddy Jennings, comes crashing through for a sack. And then it was Jennings again.
Trouble again! Goes down again! Teddy Jennings!
It forced fourth down and more than 20. An incomplete pass forced the game's first failed possession and a turnover. With the ball, Radabaugh was near perfect again. This Soul touchdown will put them ahead.
Him holding it tight and just driving it. Whoop.
But Jennings wasn't done. On Iowa's next play, he would crash through for his own score.
Jennings in the end zone with a sack for a safety, making a bid to be the MVP of this game.
Late, the Soul defense would pick off 2 Iowa passes and return each the length of the field. This one with a little help.
Over of the night, Richardson still on the move, and now he turns it over. And now it's scooped back up. Romaine on the move, cutting to the end zone. Touchdown, Soul!
And outscore Iowa 51-15 in the second half for a resounding win. The final from Des Moines, Soul 84, Iowa 48.
And I want to welcome back to the Soul Insider, Soul President Ron Jaworski. Now, Ron, football is going global with 35 countries now playing the game. But you are a partner in the most exciting of them all, of course, arena football in China. How did that happen?
Yeah, football is going global, and in China it is very, very excited. Arena football style. And Marty Judge, my partner with the Philadelphia Soul, has been doing business in China for many, many years. And one evening, Marty and I were having a cold beer as we're talking arena football and talking about the expansion of football in general around the globe. And Marty, by doing business in China, thought that he would have the opportunity to be a really good conduit to bring arena football to China. We met with the Secretary General, we spent time in China, and we ended up getting the deal to bring American football arena style to China. So it was a very, very exciting time 2 years ago, and it's even more exciting now as we approach developing the league in China.
Hi, Joes, well, where does it stand now? And by that I mean, how do you find players, and do they actually follow football?
We've made incredible progress in China. We look this fall to play an actual arena football league China schedule, have 4 to 8 teams playing against each other competitively, and in each city they'll have a home team, much like here in the United States where we root for our hometown team. In China they'll have their teams to root for. So we are right now developing television contracts, sponsorships, selling franchises, developing players. We were in 5 universities developing players to play football. It's just growing by leaps and bounds. And in 5 years, we're going to be talking about a country of 1.4 billion people being a football country.
Okay, Joe, so what's next in China?
Well, it's very exciting, and we hope it's even more exciting this fall when we launch the Arena Football League in China as far as Chinese teams playing against each other. We played that one exhibition game last November, and it's now exciting that we'll have a number of Chinese players as well as American players representing the Arena Football League in China in competitive games with huge stakes on the line.
I want to thank Seoul President Ron Jaworski, as always, for joining us on Seoul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. Seoul return to the Wells Fargo Center on Monday for Monday Night Football, Monday, July 7th at 8 p.m. Get to the arena early by 6 p.m. to see Brian Westbrook, Ike Reese, Vince Papale, and more play one more time in a Wounded Warrior amputee versus NFL alumni charity game. Get your tickets now by calling 888-789-SOUL or go to philadelphiasoul.com/WWAFT. After the break, we'll talk to U.S. Army Sergeant Michael Kocher and U.S. Army Major Andre McCoy, who will be taking part in next week's Wounded Warrior amputee versus NFL alumni charity game when we return to the Seoul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
The Seoul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is sponsored by Pro Systems Audio, one of Philadelphia's finest audio, video, and lighting contracting firms. By Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. And by the Judge Group and Judge Unified Communications, designing, developing, deploying, and managing advanced technologies for clients across the globe.
Scott, he's doing a great job for us, whether it be the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Which car brand has the most repeat buyers? Hyundai. And which midsize sedan has both more horsepower and interior room? The Sonata. All of which leaves the rest wanting. The value of the Sonata. The power of America's best warranty. Hurry to your Hyundai dealer today and lease the Sonata for only $169 per month. Or get up to $2,500 total savings. Act fast. These limited time offers end July 31st.
What can I get you?
Oh, sorry. I was daydreaming.
Dreaming about your wedding, huh?
Yes, actually.
With a big ice sculpture and a string quartet?
Yeah, how'd you know?
You've got the new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah, $1 million golden ticket with 5 top prizes of $1 million.
Want to see your dreams come to life? You could scratch your way to instant winning today. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Bring your dreams to life.
Here's the Colonial Marble rock-solid player of the game.
Rattering back to pass, in trouble again, goes down again, Teddy Jennings.
It's at least 2.5 for Teddy.
Monday night's game is Military Appreciation Night, and all military and their family members will be admitted at no charge if they arrive to the Wells Fargo Center by 6 p.m. At 6 p.m., will be a Wounded Warrior Amputees versus NFL Alumni Tribute to Heroes flag football game. More than 15 Wounded Warrior amputees will play in this game, as well as more than 30 former Eagles and NFL alumni will participate. And I want to welcome in Sergeant Michael Kocher, who will be in the Wounded Warrior football game, to the Seoul Insider. Michael, thank you for joining us.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here and you having me on.
Well, I was talking to you a little bit before we sat down, and I just want everybody I'm exhausted from everything Michael has got going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the football game, about this amazing climb you have going on. But can you give people just a little bit of background of you in the service and what happened to you and how you wind up with the Wounded Warrior football team?
Back when I was in college or high school, before I had decided to skip the college route for a couple of years, I was kind of looking for guidance in my life. So I joined the National Guard when I was 17, right out of high school. Ended up putting in almost 11 and a half years, deployed to Germany, Bosnia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. In Afghanistan in 2008, I ended up getting hit by a rocket, ended up getting a 6-inch skull fracture in the back of my skull, ear-to-ear fracture in 24 different places, jaw broken 3 broke ribs, 2 collapsed lungs, severed intestine, and my arm ended up getting amputated due to the injuries. Along with all of that, I also lost 2 of my guys, my medic and mechanic. My medic was from California, my mechanic was from Michigan. And the hardest part of my recovery was trying to redefine who I was and who I wanted to be. And fortunately, sports played a huge part in the aspect of me trying to find my new normal, who I wanted to be and where I wanted to take my life. And through a lot of trials and tribulations, sports helped recover a lot of it. And it eventually led to the Wounded Warrior amputee football team contacting me about a month ago, asking me if I was interested in playing football and helping show other people that just because we have injuries, mentally, physically, that it doesn't mean that our life's over, but that we can continue striving for a new normal and continuing better in our lives every day.
Now, when you're playing the game, you're going to be going up against some former NFL guys. Some of them may be a little bit past their prime, but what position do you think you'll be playing in the game?
I played cornerback in high school, so hopefully I get to be cornerback, rock that out. Being wide receivers, not really fair because every catch I'd make would be a highlight, one-handed catch reel.
You'd be showing people up at that point. It would not be right. Well, after the game, you have something really cool going on because, you know, playing in a football game and doing all this other stuff isn't enough. You're actually going to be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro soon. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I tried climbing Mount Kilimanjaro a couple times, and due to the way life happens, we'll just leave it like that, I ended up not being able to make the climb. And during a Spartan race about a year ago, around this time a year ago, I ended up running into Andrew McCoy down in Philadelphia, Spartan race at Citibank, and we just got to talking and everything else. And one of the things came up is how I haven't been able to climb Kilimanjaro yet, and he kind of made it his own personal mission to find the funding to get me on Kilimanjaro for New Year's.
All right, I want to thank Sergeant Michael Kocher for joining us on Soul Insider. Make sure you get there early, 6 p.m. Monday Night Football, the Soul game. Get there earlier for the Wounded Warrior amputee game against former NFL players. Sergeant Kocher, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And now I'd like to introduce U.S. Army Major Andre McCoy to the show. Andre, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Rhea.
And, you know, we just talked to Sergeant Kocher, who I know that you have a pretty good relationship with, but you're going to be doing something different with him this Monday night. You're actually going to be a coach for the first time for the Wounded Warriors amputee football team, right?
Yes, that's my first time coaching, and I'm very happy to be a part of the team with Sergeant Kocher. He's a great guy, very inspirational.
You're new with the organization. What is the goal, with the Wounded Warrior amputee group? What is kind of your goal that you guys try to accomplish?
Well, the mission of Wounded Warrior amputee football team is to just show that the loss of a limb doesn't mean the end of an active lifestyle or limit you. It actually can just be a next step for you. And that's certainly true with Michael Kocher. He's a huge inspiration. It's part of the reason why I'm involved with the Wounded Warrior amputee football team. And thanks for having me here. Well,
no, I appreciate you joining. I know you kind of, when I was talking to Michael a little while ago, I said, I heard you're going to be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. And he said, I've actually been trying to a couple times. And until I met up with Andre McCoy, he really is making it happen. So how did you make that happen?
He was a National Guard guy, Pennsylvania Army National Guard, much like I was. And I just watched him conquer these various obstacles. And I was envious, was a little jealous. I'm able-bodied, and I couldn't keep up with him, and he outperformed me. So I struck up a conversation with him. We stayed in touch. We ended up afterwards at McFadden's, and we just stayed in touch. And then this Mount Kilimanjaro adventure came up, and I know that was something that he was interested in. So Mount Kilimanjaro represents besides being in Tanzania, Africa, a completely different continent, literally on the other side of the world, it is a huge obstacle. And he's able to conquer that. And it's a worldwide goal for many people.
And are you doing it with him, or are you just helping him get there?
Well, that's the benefit. It's a mutual benefit, but it's really, I think, more of a benefit to me. I'm able to make that happen for him with sponsors, but by me going with him, he's going to be an inspiration for me as well. And part of how Michael operates, and I do too, is that we want to inspire others to include veterans.
I would like to thank you, Major Andre McCoy, for joining us on the Soul Insider, and have a great time at the game on Monday night.
Make sure you get your tickets by 6 on Monday.
All right, the Soul return to the Wells Fargo Center on Monday for Monday Night Football, Monday, July 7th at 8 p.m. Get to the arena early by 6 p.m. because you'll see Brian Westbrook, Ike Reese, Vince Papale, and more play one more time in a Wounded Warrior amputee versus NFL alumni charity game. Get your family 4-pack now. That's 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, 4 popcorns for as low as $68. Call 888-789-SOUL or go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com. After the break, we'll talk to Teddy Jennings, who had a great defensive game for the Soul, as well as Coach Phil Bogle, when we return to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
How can the Judge Group help your business? By providing you with effective business technology solutions. By recruiting the finest personnel to meet your unique business needs. By providing corporate training, learning, and performance support solutions. And unified communications, voice and video system design and engineering. With over 30 offices in the U.S., Canada, and Asia, the Judge Group, a global leader in professional services since 1970.
No one else can do what Colonial Marble and Granite can do. We've revolutionized the way you buy your granite countertops. Colonial Marble and Granite, the nation's leading granite countertop fabricator. Visit our King of Prussia showroom today and see how easy, beautiful, and affordable your countertops can be. Professional, courteous service, unbeatable prices, just $19.99 installed. No one else can beat Colonial Marble and Granite. Visit us online at colonialmarble.net.
Which car brand has the most repeat buyers? Hyundai. And which midsize sedan has both more horsepower and interior room? The Sonata. All of which leaves the rest wanting. The value of the Sonata. The power of America's best warranty. Hurry to your Hyundai dealer today and lease the Sonata for only $169 per month. Or get up to $2,500 total savings. Act fast. These limited time offers end July 31st.
Hi, I'm Tony Mitchell, Brinker Simpson & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We offer comprehensive financial compliance and tax services. As Philadelphia's leading tax and advisory firm, we let our clients say it best.
Tony and his team at Brinker Simpson provided the expertise of a large accounting firm, but didn't forget their small business roots.
Brinker Simpson has a clear business vision that looks beyond spreadsheets and numbers and sees opportunities.
At Brinker Simpson, firm relationships build success.
And now, the stop pain stop of the game.
Soul have scored 2 touchdowns, and now it's Jennings in the end zone with a sack for a safety, making a bid to be the MVP of this game.
Welcome back to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, and I would like to welcome in Teddy Jennings, the defensive player of the game. 3.5 sacks, 4 tackles in the Soul's 84-48 victory at Iowa. Teddy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Did you guys just decide at halftime you're down by 1 point and the defense just get together and say, we're just not going to let them score in the third quarter and let our offense kind of roll up some points there, make this life a little bit easier for everybody?
We were just going to play Soul football the second half. We're in playoff mode right now. We need to win out to get to the playoffs. We couldn't have any more games like our past 2 or 3. So
I was going to say, how tough? I mean, you had 3 straight games where you guys lost on the last play of the game. Just how mentally draining was that?
It's tough. It's the little things. We just weren't doing the little things right past 2 weeks. We were better than both those teams, and
you just decided as a team. You said we're just not going to let this happen, and you really defensively just put it to Iowa. Offensively, Dan Rodabaugh played well, but you guys just weren't going to give them a chance to even come down to a last-second play, right?
Yeah, no, we were going to turn it up second half, and we did that with Rowe scoring twice. We had some pressure, Jerome Williams, myself, Perkins, and our new D-tackle, P. Scott, and even Wayne Tribune got in there a little bit at the end. Disrupt the quarterback, make the decisions hard.
All right, I want to thank Teddy Jennings, Defensive Player of the Game, for being our guest on Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore. Teddy, good luck this Monday night.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And I'd like to introduce Soul offensive and defensive line coach Phil Bogle and welcome him back to the program. Phil, great win on Saturday night.
Definitely, well deserved.
Was it like a sigh of relief to go, okay, this isn't coming down to the last play of the game?
Yeah, we knew that we had to play 60 minutes no matter what, just how the past couple games have gone, and that was our mindset going in, and I think we accomplished that.
You were down by 1 at halftime, and then you come out. I just want you to talk a little bit about what your defense did in the third quarter, because you think you're setting up for another game that's going to go down to the end, and you just really took it to Iowa offensively. Talk a little bit about what your defense did in that third quarter.
We came close to some plays, had them in a couple fourth downs early in the first half, and we just didn't convert them. So we did that in the second half. We got a lot more pressure with our defensive line, Teddy Jennings having a great game. So, pressure and then the interception and turnovers helped us a lot.
And then offensively, Dan Rodabaugh had just a extremely efficient game. So obviously that starts up front with your offensive line. Can you talk about the time they gave him to deliver the ball?
Yeah, just the leadership of having Christian Johnson back. 2 touchdowns by Adam Smith. Jason Holman doing an excellent job of stepping in, for Carvalho all season, doing a great job at center, and then Ross being Ross at fullback. I think we have a pretty dominant group up there.
All right, Phil, playoff mode, the last 3 games of the season, basically every game, that's how you're approaching it?
Yeah, one at a time. We just want to go 1-0 this week. Big challenge here against Orlando, a team who we beat earlier but have been playing good football as of late. So we just want to go in and play the same style of football and dominate and play for 4 quarters.
All right, Phil Bogle, offensive defensive line coach for the Soul. Thanks for joining us on the Soul Insider.
Thanks for having me.
All right, the Soul return to the Wells Fargo Center on Monday for Monday Night Football, Monday, July 7th at 8 p.m. Get to the arena early by 6 p.m. to see Brian Westbrook, Ike Reese, Vince Papale, and more play one more time in a Wounded Warrior amputee versus NFL alumni charity game. Get your tickets now by calling 888-789-SOUL or go to philadelphiasoul.com/WWAFT. After the break, I'll have some closing thoughts when we return to the Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore.
Bradford White Water Heaters. American made, American owned. Built to be the best. Why would you buy any other brand? Visit BradfordWhite.com to find a contractor near you.
Scott, he's doing a great job for us, whether it be the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Soul fans, here's your chance to win the ultimate tailgate prize package. The Soul and your neighborhood Walgreens has your chance to win. Every month, you can win a 50-inch flat-screen TV, Soul tailgate grill, table, chairs, and coolers. Plus, you and 10 of your friends get to go to a Soul game VIP style in an all-you-can-eat club box. Get to Walgreens now and visit the Soul Zone. A new winner is selected every month. Brought to you in part by Canada Dry, Smart Water, Good Health Natural, Utz, Red Bull, Stop Pain, Coca-Cola, and Peanut Chews. No purchase necessary. Please see website for complete rules and regulations.
It's the Hyundai Drive Your Way drive of the game.
There he is. Left tackle busts some heads and gets into the end zone. I mean, Ross ran over some people for the touchdown. Sold. Brought to you by Foods Galore.
Sam Hinkie doesn't care what you think. Sixers general manager didn't feel the need to communicate with the fans or the media on draft night Thursday. Not like it was important or anything. Every other team in the NBA did speak because, it's a business in which fans are kind of important, and they kind of like to hear what their teams are thinking. Hey, Sam, you're in the entertainment business, and for the first time in years, there is huge interest in the Sixers. Share a little. Give us an idea when you refuse to speak, that when you kick reporters out of your practice facility, that you don't have confidence in yourself. And why would that give me confidence in you? All the Sixers did was draft a guy with a couple of major injury issues who might not play for 5 to 8 months in Joel Embiid. Then traded for a player in Dario Saric, who signed with an overseas team for another 2 years. Now, I know a lot of people were on board with the Sixers tanking this season. I wasn't it. I hated it. I hated the 26-game losing streak. But it was sold as, together we build. You got to get bad to get better. Truth be told, in the NBA, you need a superstar. I'm not sure that player is currently on the Sixers. MCW is a real nice player. I don't know yet about Nerlens Noel. I won't get to know for the foreseeable future with Embiid. You may never know with Dario. The whole point of the draft is to improve the team. What we got again this year is, hey, have a little patience. Hinkie finally did speak the next day, on a Friday afternoon of a summer weekend, when you have the least eyes and ears on what you are doing. Hinkie was asked by the Daily News' Bob Cooney after the news conference on Friday why he doesn't talk more, that he actually gave some good info in that news conference, and that's not a bad thing. Hinkie's response, nah, that's not me. Memo to other team executives, in my opinion, that's offensive, and it's a heck of a shell game by Sam Hinkie, and frankly, brilliant by him. You know who Hinkie took care of? Himself. He just managed to buy himself a couple of years of job security. Because as long as Hinkie can keep selling you on the 5-year plan, oh, sorry, not Hinkie, he won't deign to speak to you on a regular basis, and it'll have to be somebody else in the organization. Together we build? Not really. Which brings me back to my original point. Hinkie doesn't care what you think, and he's in charge of one of your professional sports teams. And the Soul return to the Wells Fargo Center for Monday Night Football, Monday, July 7th at 8 p.m. Get to the arena early by 6 p.m. to see Brian Westbrook play one more time in a Wounded Warrior amputee versus NFL charity game. Get your tickets now by calling 888-789-SOUL or go to philadelphiasoul.com/WWAFT. Thanks for joining us on Soul Insider as a Soul continue to try and push for a playoff spot. Thanks for joining us. Catch us again next week.
The Soul Insider, presented by Foods Galore, is sponsored by Pro Systems Audio, one of Philadelphia's finest audio, video, and lighting contracting firms. By Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. And by the Judge Group and Judge Unified Communications, designing, developing, deploying, and managing advanced technologies for clients across the globe.